すんじゃねえバカ。
全然届いてない。
ま、いっか。
俺にできる家族から始めていこう。
ち、あの野郎、必死な面で言うことかよ。
Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a breeze. Should you watch it? My friends, I think this is a resounding yes. One of the things that always is, I think, an attention grabber for a lot of different anime is the art and the art style. And there's two things that you're going to love or hate. One, it seems that the artist or the studio has a feet fetish, and I have no problem with little toe beans actions in my anime, so I'm totally okay with that. Give that the double approval, double thumbs up. But I know some people don't like that, and it's always weird when there's a real focus on it, and it seems like there is a focus through the three sisters, and there will continue to be, especially because one of them is like a karate master, you know, a jujitsu martial arts master, so there's going to be a lot of feet action. So you're either going to be on par with that, you don't care, like it doesn't bother you, it is what it is, or you'd be like, that's gross, I'm not a big fan of that. And hey, I get both sides of it, and there's the other side where maybe you like it a little too much, and that's a different camp. Please stay away from the comment section, please. And the other part of it too is the MC is depicted as a very feminine character, which means he's very pretty. And again, you're gonna have these two camps, just art style, just the way characters are depicted, not going into story, plot, nothing, just face value of what you can see, just the pretty picture. And you're gonna have two camps, and you can let me know which one you fall in, but you're gonna have two camps to where it's like, oh, I'm not a big fan of the really feminine MC. That's just not for me. I don't really like it. Thankfully, this one doesn't skew too far to the left. There's that weird Prince isekai anime that skews really far left with that, too much so. It's kind of gross. And even, I'm usually never bothered by it, but even that one skews too far. But you're going to have a camp of, oh, that's just not for me. And then you have the other ones who's like, you're either like me, like, doesn't bother me. I actually find it funny because the way that they're utilizing his looks and his prettiness. He's kind of melting the hearts of the Mikadono sisters. So actually, I find it funny, but it doesn't really bother me when they're feminine. It's just there's certain ones, and like there's literally like maybe like two of them that just skew really, really far left. So just looks wise, though, I think the art is amazing. The art's fantastic. Now, when it comes into like the story and stuff, there is one thing that I don't quite like, and that's the fact that the Mikadono father is basically just saying that he's just going to be a non-existent character. So as opposed to the parents are in Italy or in Europe or in some other country or something, instead the father just basically saying, hey, I work so much, I'm never going to be home. And then he gives the task to Ayase he's like, oh, watch my prodigy children. It's like, who the hell calls their children prodigy? It's so weird. Even if the talent is just weird, but anyway, he's like, watch my prodigy children and like be the balance to the force, basically. He's like, what do you mean, dude? Like, I'm a nobody. But his whole thing is, I want a family, I want to live my mother's dreams. So love it or hate it, I think it's going to be a mute point. It was just a quick in and out to basically say, hey, there's going to be no parent figure within the anime whatsoever. Because it's easier to write these kinds of stories, these harem-ish stories, when the parents don't exist, and where that whole semblance of like not community, but that like structure and parental is just gone. It's easier to write these stories. So not my favorite thing. The show is going to get a 2-point deduction for just shitty writing on that case. Everything else, though, I think is good, right? So you have Ayase, and essentially he has been like the prodigy kid for however long. He's been living in his mother's shadow. He was raised by a single mother, but she is a premier and elite actor of actors, right? She is a premier and elite actress, like award-winning and whatever else. He's always lived in the shadow of her. And because he always wanted to earn his mother's love through a certain way, he realized one day that she is so innately talented and he's not, that he just kind of didn't know how to approach or deal with his mom until he got a little bit older. And by that time, she was already kind of like on her deathbed, and sickness was going to claim her life. And by the time he actually woke up, to the reality of things, it was kind of too late. And the same goes for his mom, that was just disappearing after his whole life. She prioritized her career over her son, even though she had thought thoughts of grandeur of family and stuff. She just didn't quite live up to that. Hey, I think we can all admit that there's mistakes that we all live in life. But she ended up doing that, and she let them know saying like, hey, I hope you find a family someday. And through a family friend, you know, he's being taken in by the Mikadono family, which has the 3 sisters, which is, you know, the purple hair, the middle one, which is like the karate girl, and then the ultra instinct shogi master. And his role is going to be, again, to be that mediator between all of them and probably be the romance interest for all 3 of them. So oldest is Kazuki, which I like the most. She's kind of like the boyish character, but like, you know, in a very good way. Nico, which is the one that kind of fell head over heels for, I'm going to say almost immediately, which is like the karate girl. And then Miwa, which is the shogi master girl. And he's going to be the balance to their force. He's going to be the one keeping the home clean. He's going to be the one making their home a home through his own things that he does very well, which is being kind of like that homemaker, home person. And then also through the way that he's able to handle them. Immediately, there was a scene where he got there and he immediately like was drying off Nico's hair. So he's going to be kind of that figure that doesn't hold back and also is not really embarrassed to kind of go that extra step. So, you know, I think it's going to be filled with a lot of comedic moments. There's a lot of really funny moments already in the episode, which I laughed quite a bit. I thought it was pretty funny. I'm going to love seeing his interactions between all 3 of the girls and seeing where he kind of fits in with that. So I think that we're in for a fun romance here. And I think episode 1 was a great, I think it was a great first impression of this show. Beautiful art. Decent story, interesting main character, and 3 main girl characters who are also vastly different and really interesting as well too. So can't wait to see more of the Mikadono sisters. I'll be here for another week. This is one that just kind of climbed to the top for me, so I really want to see more of this episode or more of this show through based off this episode. So I can't wait to watch more with you guys. So I'll be back for episode 2 next week. Let me know let me know how you guys felt after watching this episode down in the comments below, but I'm definitely into the Mikadono sisters. I can't wait to see more. All right, my friends, I'm gonna see you guys for more summer anime. Check out my other videos like Shield Hero and stuff that's coming out today. And of course, I'll see you on the next one. All right, friends, stay up. Peace out.